Hey folks, this is Combat Wombat. I want to address a few things that have come up in the last few days. A few days ago, I posted a video that consisted of a clip of 1% of a video posted by Dr. Dave, the Beer Professor. I believe this clip summarised very well the nature of the video that Dave made about Irish Demon having to move out of his house. I didn't add any editorialisation because I believe the words spoke for themselves. I believe that using 1% of a longer video in order to summarise an issue is legitimate fair use. Dave has declared I'm on his shit list for putting up stuff about him, even though in my video I made no comment about him whatsoever. Here's what Dr. Dave said about it.
Yeah, love your stream. Yeah, he loved your stream. He loved it long time.
Combat Wombat. Uncle Audie wants to know about Combat Wombat. It's strike.
What about him?
Answer up on the copy strike you just put on Combat Wombat.
He's on my list too. All you guys are on my S list. Hey, you know what? If you put stuff up about me, I'm going to take it down. What else can I tell you? I'm going to find a way to take it down. I pay people to do that. I don't have to do that. I pay people to do that.
The next issue I want to address is Dr. Dave bullying LGBT people. As one of the hundreds of millions of LGBT people on the planet, I'm used to hearing these sort of attacks, and I think it just says more about Dr. Dave than it does about me. On January 23, 2022, Dave did apologise for a statement he made 5, 6, 7 years ago about transgender people being confused about which bathroom to use. Now, I will say here that there are aspects of this apology that are genuinely remorseful, and I'll give Dave kudos for that, but there's also a lot that's very problematic as well. The video that Dave's apologising for was made 5, 6, 7 years ago, so that would be between 2015 and 2017. He says that he knew it was wrong then, and that he apologised back then for it. Unfortunately, Dave started his apology by saying he's the victim.
The videos I'm talking about is when I disparage the LGBTQIAA community. Now, if you don't know what those extra letters are, you should look them up. Anyway, I'm ashamed of those videos. I am ashamed. They were made 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I uploaded them to my spare channel, which eventually was taken down by the copyright kings, Patty Cakes and Glenn Serio. They teamed up and took down my channel. Not only one channel, but 2 channels they took down. Anyway, yeah, I'm not particularly proud of these videos because I stood on there and I said that gender-confused people were so confused and out of their bloody minds that they didn't know which restroom to use when they were out in public. Now, I apologize for that video when I originally made it several years ago. I don't recall re-uploading it to my channel, but it's there. It was there, at least.
So that's all well and good. Dave says he knew it was wrong 5 or 7 years ago to post those things. So he's casting this as something he did 5 or 7 years ago, that he apologised for back then, and that it's all finished. However, in 2020, 2021, that's just last year, Dave started again and posted 7 anti-gay rants to his main channel. I know this for a fact because I downloaded them myself in September 2021. If he wants to give me permission, I'm happy to post them all in their entirety, but here's a sample.
By the LGBTQ community. Try to say those letters real fast sometimes. It's mind-boggling. The alphabet. I call it the alphabet disease. That's what it is. It's a mental disease.
Of course, it goes without saying that when someone uses a public platform to tell everyone that everyone in the world who is gay, lesbian, bisexual or transgender has a mental disease is just showing a stunning amount of ignorance about the topic. It just dumbfounds me. And this wasn't an isolated statement. Dave put up 7 videos in 2020, 2021, with similar ideas. I just find it incredible. This one's my favourite. It's something about systemic racism turning people gay. See if you can make sense of it.
You wake up one morning. I better not get into that. Gotta be careful what you say on here. Everything's considered hate speech these days. I don't know when the hell that happened. Woke up one morning and everything now is hate speech. Well, anyway, 16% of Generation Z identifies as LGBTQ. And just to give you an idea, the traditionalists, the people of the World War II generation, about 1.3% of those folks identify as LGBTQ. And in my generation, the baby boomers, they identify 2% of themselves as being LGBTQ. So that's a dramatic increase. Now, what's behind that increase, you might wonder? Well, I'll tell you what, these kids these days are bombarded in school, on the web, everywhere, social media platforms, doesn't matter where they turn. They're bombarded with ideas of systemic racism. And I never heard that term until Hillary Clinton used it when she was running for president back in 2016. I never heard that term before she used it. Never. Recently, it's a pretty recent phenomenon to me, at least. Okay, systemic racism and white supremacy. And so these kids are bombarded with these ideas all day long. And hey, look, if you're not gay or trans or bi or something to that effect, then you're just a Nazi. So there's a lot of pressure on these kids to become part of the LGBT community because that's more acceptable. Ah, boy, I don't know, man. I'm telling you. At any rate, something that has nothing to do with this rant at all is, here it is right here. Oh, man, I picked this up last year. And the stock slides out here. See if I can do this. It's pretty awkward doing it in front of the camera. There you can see the stock slides out. There you go. And this was used by Nazi Germany. This is an MP40. Now you can go down to your...
Here's another public post Dave made in 2018. And again, this is after he realised he was saying the wrong thing. And according to him, after he made an apology for all this stuff.
Listen to this carefully. I can laugh about it because I got my money back, but somehow or another, one of my bank accounts was hacked for $1,000. Now, the reason it wasn't hacked for more is because there's a daily withdrawal limit of $1,000 on the account. And I told my bro, I said, yeah, man, you know what? I think it's one of those LGBTQIA. Try to say that, my God. Yeah, one of those genderqueer sissy faggots that needs a gender reassignment surgery. That's what it's all about, man. Yeah, so yeah, these LGBTQIA sissy queers, they need that gender reassignment surgery, and that's how they get it. They have to steal money from people. No doubt about it, baby.
Now, I want to interject here and say I 100% support Dave's rights to say all these things online. I would much rather live in a society where people are free to say and publish what they want, even if I find it offensive, than to live in a censored society. I'm advocating for transparency here, not censorship. Now, I don't know where Dave gets the idea that talking about white supremacy and critical race theory turns you gay. But when I looked at his Facebook profile today, he does read and share posts from the Renegade Tribune. Now, I don't know anything about the Renegade Tribune, but when I looked up on Wikipedia what it says about it, Wikipedia says it's a white supremacist conspiracy theory anti-Semitic media platform. So he's at least reading some stuff from this platform and sharing posts from it on his Facebook. And I support his right to do so. I'm not trying to censor it. If anything, I'm amplifying it. Dave, if you're into this stuff, that's fine. That's what's great about America. This country allows all sorts of different views. But if this is what's informing your views about gay people, then I think you're going to be seriously misguided. So the story of Dave's apology just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. He's saying he created these posts 5 or 7 years ago and he apologized back then, but then he kept making these anti-gay posts in 2020 and 2021. So the apology he made just doesn't line up with his actions. The final issue I want to address is the behaviour of Dave's moderators / panel members, in particular Saul. Saul frequently speaks for Dave in his live streams. What I'm referencing is on the screen here. I'm not going to read it. It's disgusting, it's misogynistic, and it's unacceptable. The last thing I want to say in closing is, if you're a fan of Dr. Dave and enjoys content, then I think it's fine to keep watching him, or whoever else you like. There are many creators for frauditor-related content, and they all have their unique take. I did want to bring some transparency to things that touched me, while at the same time supporting Dave's right to say whatever he wants and to grow his channel in however he feels is best for him. Thanks for listening.